Hello and welcome to the YouTube Success Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about two things. The first one is loneliness. The second one is money. And I'm going to talk about how loneliness and money enabled me or encouraged me to start TubeFest. Now, I will tell you that TubeFest began as an idea back in March 2023. If you don't know what TubeFest is, it's my video marketing event that happens on April the 23rd and 24th of 2026 in Birmingham at the East Side Rooms. And it started as an idea in March 2023. I was actually at an event called Social Media Marketing World. I'm hopefully going there this year as well. And at Social Media Marketing World, I remember thinking to myself, there doesn't seem to be anything like this in the UK. When I said this, what I was actually thinking is, I also go to an event called Vid Summit. I'll talk about that in a second, but it was a video marketing event. I just didn't think there was anything specifically for creators. There's some great marketing events in the UK. There's Atomicon, there's AdCon. There's just a whole bunch of them actually, big and small, but specifically for video. And I looked around. I remember opening my phone, going to Google and searching for video events that were happening in Europe, actually. I looked around the UK, there was nothing. There was VidCon that happened in London. I think it happened like once or twice. I think they're thinking about bringing it back at the moment. There was a couple of sort of niche events. There was one in Greece that happened. There was a few around Europe just here and there. And most of them actually be vendor events. So YouTube often do events. Adobe did a really great event recently and specifically for creators. But when they're vendor events, often you feel like the product, you feel like they want to use you as the audience, right? They want to use your influence to get their product names out there. And I definitely don't want to be necessarily running an event like that, although they look great. The Adobe event did look amazing recently. So I was just looking around and I was like, I wonder if there's anything like independent that is ran for video marketing, and there was nothing. I just couldn't find anything at all. Now, since then, there's a few that have popped up, but that's by the by. So I sat there at this event in San Diego in Social Media Marketing World, and when you go there, like as somebody coming from Europe or the UK to go to those kind of events, like it's $5,000. You have to pay for hotels, tickets. The conference tickets are often quite expensive as well. You've got your flights, you've got jet lag, all the things that come with that. So I sat there in the bar, and I'll tell you this, when you've had a drink, you get you get a bit brave, basically. So I went onto 123reg and I registered the domain tubefest.live, and I was like, you know what, I could do this. I can run this event. And then what happened is I got really busy through the summer. And I remember that summer was one of the best summers I've ever had in my life. I was also 40 that year, so we had a great trip for my 40th. And I just paused it. I think I got home, I realised like the amount of effort that running an event would take, and I thought, no, this is not for us. But of course, then I went to Vid Summit, which happens I think it was late September, early October that year. And again, I was surrounded by all these amazing creators. Had some great conversations, met some great people. And again, I was in the bar with Austin Armstrong, Nick Nimmin, Mike from Vid Pros. And I said to them, guys, if I ran something like this, I've got the name of it, it's called TubeFest. If I ran it, would you come and speak? Nick and Austin said yes. I said to Mike runs Vid Pros, it's an editing company. I said, would you sponsor Mike? He said, yes. I even asked him how much he would pay to sponsor, and he told me, and that's what we set the sponsorship prices as. So like literally that conversation with those guys really made me go, yes, okay, I'm going to do this now. And when I got back after Vid Summit, I was like, okay, I can't delay this anymore. What's the worst that can happen if I do this? The worst that can happen is I could probably lose some money, nobody will come, and it'll be a bit of a disaster. And that's fine. Like, at least I tried. So the long story short is we put on our first event in 2024, and we had almost 200 people come. We had some brilliant speakers from around the world. As I mentioned, Austin and Nick came. And as far as I was concerned, it was a success. Now, we did another event last year, 2025. We didn't have as many attendees. I think I went too big, too fast. We wanted to move it around Europe and various other things, mistakes we made along the way. But we're now in the third year and we've already sold 200 tickets. We're already further ahead than we ever have been at any time. We've got more sponsors. We've got YouTube speaking. We've got TikTok speaking. We're in such a good position this year. And I'll talk about that more in a second. But I just wanted to talk about the two things that I referenced right at the start of this. Why is loneliness and why is money part of the journey of Tube? And the simple reason is when I spoke to people about being a creator, and actually it's exactly the same if you're a solopreneur or if you're a business owner that has a small team. Actually, I've spoke to a few businesses that have got bigger teams, but maybe the founder is on their own as well. And we all agreed on the same thing, like being a creator, being a solopreneur is really lonely. It can feel like you're the only person doing this. In fact, I started another podcast called The Online Business Shit Show because I wanted to highlight some of the challenges that you go through as a creator and as a business owner. The more creators that I spoke to, the more they said there's not space for people like us. They said that nobody understands them. They have their family members that are like, oh, you go make your little videos. Meanwhile, they're getting millions of views, but the family are like, make your little videos. People just don't understand. They don't understand the challenges with the workflow. I'm here in this studio on my own, and it's so hard filming on your own. I've got 2 cameras, I've got switches, I've got all my stuff here set up, but I'm just using this one for now because this one feels like the best one. But nobody really understands the challenge of doing all of this stuff on your own. It's so nice when you get in an environment where there's people that get it. And not only do they get it, and I'll give credit to Vid Summit, I'll give credit to Social Media Marketing World, Atomicon, because they led the way for me in the way I think about this stuff. But when you're in an environment with people that get it, it fills you up, it fills me up. I know some people go to events and they become depleted, all that peopling and all networking and all of those kind of things. But in terms of being inspired and the inspiration you get from other people, whether they're 2 years ahead of you, whether they're a year behind you, it doesn't really matter. I've stood in queues or lines for you Americans with people that have got 5 million subscribers, and I had 100 subscribers at the time. And I said to the guy, and I laughed when he told me he had 5 million subscribers, I said, have you got any tips? And we literally stood there for 20 minutes and he gave me all the tips he could give. Like, I just know that I would have paid hundreds of pounds, maybe thousands of pounds for that advice. And he just gave it to me in that environment. And I really like putting communities of people together. I really create environments where people can collaborate, where they can get inspired, where they can meet other people and not feel alone. I think it's something that's a beautiful thing that probably the majority of event organisers don't realise is something wonderful that we do in putting people together, you know. So that's the first thing. And that's probably selfishly the main reason why I put this on. I really enjoy those environments. You'll see me at TubeFest, and you'll see that I'm absolutely loving it. People ask me all the time, are you stressed? Are you worried? Or anything like that? And it's never like that for me because I'm always just enjoying the spectacle that we've put on. Always want to do more. Always wanted to make it better. Always wish we had more money, all of those things. But I really do genuinely enjoy it. And it's because I can see the collaboration and the connections that people are making at these events. The second thing then is money. Now, I'll tell you about money, but I'll just let you know a little bit about the event itself. And you'll see why I'm telling you this first. So the event is 2 stages. We have 2 stages, and I set this up first. I remember when I spoke to Andrew and Pete from Atomicon, they were like, Matt, don't do 2 stages. It's double the money. Why would you do 2 stages? It's definitely more expensive. Do 1 stage first. And I just didn't listen. Yes, I should have listened. Or maybe not. Maybe this is my vision. So stick to your vision. But we have 2 stages, right? And the stages are creator stage and we have a business stage. And I have those 2 stages for the simple reason of this. Creators are often really great at creating large audiences and bringing lots of people along for the ride, right? But a lot of the creators that I meet don't make any money. In fact, I've met creators when my old account, which has 3,500 subscribers, I've got a new one now that's at 8,000 odd, but it used to be my biggest account. So 3,500 subscribers. I've made over £100,000, 6 figures plus from that channel with just 3,500 subscribers. And I'd meet people that have got 10, 20, 30, 100,000 subscribers. And they'd be saying to me, oh, I wish I could do this full time because I'm just not making enough money from the channel. Like, it makes a good amount of money from ads or whatever, but that's just paying for all my gear. It's paying for my editing. Definitely can't do this full time. And that blew me away because I realized that creators then often don't think like business owners. I realized that they probably needed the support of business owners. So keep that in mind for a second. So then the second stage is business owners. Now, business owners are great at running their own business. They have found a gap in the market somewhere and said, I'm going to fill that gap and I'm going to make good money whilst I'm doing. The challenge for business owners is marketing is not always their strong point. So they struggle to grow an audience. They struggle to get people to like their page or to follow them or subscribe to them, but they know how to make money. So I just thought to myself, why don't I put those two groups of people together? The creators that are already successful, they might not want to go and watch the stuff on the creator stage. They might go to the business stage and learn about sales and marketing and that kind of thing. And then the business owners that are good at those things could go to the creator stage and learn how to grow a channel to 1 million subscribers. And so that's the premise behind the two stages, why we have two stages. I feel like I'll always have those two stages to maintain that focus of helping those two groups of people, the two groups of people that I'm surrounded with the most, succeed in their business or in their creator journey. So how this relates to money is just that fact. So I just kept meeting creators. I went to an event recently with some brilliant, absolutely brilliant creators in the millions of subscribers, millions. And they all said the same thing. We're lonely. It's so great to come to an event like this. It was a small dinner, 20, 25, 30 people. And we don't make enough money. We feel like we should be making more money. Like they're seeing other people make more money. And they were asking the room, like, what can I do to make more money? And so TubeFest is about solving that loneliness thing for us and helping you create connections with people that understand just who you are. And like-minded people, I guess, is the way we describe it. And then also to make some money, because there's nothing worse than a starving artist. And I say starving artists, creators are entrepreneurs. They might not feel like it all the time, but that is the truth. And I just know if we get a good group of people together collectively and we all support each other, we all grow together, then we can all not be starving artists. We can all do this amazing job. The creators I meet, they're always smiling. They're always happy. It's one of the best environments to be in because they're a little bit surprised that they're making money from creating videos, silly little videos. I always say silly little videos because I just can't tell you the amount of people that have said that to me. When I had the video company for 7 years that I ran, and with the creators that I've met, I just know their families are the same. Go make your silly little videos. And a lot of trolls say it online as well. Get a proper job. Why don't you have a proper business? What are you doing? Meanwhile, they're making good money doing it. Some of them. All right. So that is how loneliness and money led to TubeFest. The history of TubeFest now. Thanks so much for letting me tell the story. I hope it's been useful for you to understand how this happens. And also, the side quest with this is I really just want to encourage you to try something new. There's a bigger story behind TubeFest in that the day after TubeFest 1, I lost all my income. Pretty much all my income. It's about 80% of my income. And I've spent the last 2 years trying to pay things back and get on top of things again. But that's a story for another day. I'm sure I'll share more of that on the other podcasts that I've got. All right. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. This is the YouTube Success Podcast. Don't forget to go and leave us a review wherever you're watching this or listening to this. We are on YouTube as well. So if you're listening to this and maybe you're watching it on Spotify, I try to get the videos uploaded to Spotify so you can watch them there as well. But do head over to youtube.com @YouTube Success Podcast. We're over there and we could do with a subscribe. I think I'm on about 79 subscribers. I'll often say to people when you're getting started on YouTube, it can sometimes feel soul destroying when you put the episodes out there and you go and I've got some shorts on there and stuff as well. But I do know there's 2,000 of you that download this podcast on a monthly basis. Sorry, per episode, I think. So I appreciate you doing that. And I would also appreciate the review on whatever platform that you listen on. All right, thanks so much. My name's Matt Hughes, King of Video. See you next time. Bye-bye.